Greetings, friends. This is Thunderhands, or as my friends call me, Thunder. I got some questions from some people about this subject, so I thought I would touch on it or try to explain it a little, because it is in my book Emergence concerning the twin souls in there, and it's also, I've talked about it on Facebook, and people have asked me about it, so I thought I would broach the subject in a tasteful manner. And what we're talking about here is Tantra yoga, or sacred sex. Now, a lot of people don't know where this comes from. Tantra yoga is a yoga that originated in ancient times in the Indus Valley many, many years ago. And it's a spiritual practice or meditation or yoga, and yoga means union, by the way, that can be used with a partner, a significant other. Usually it's like male, female, yin and yang, because that's the balance of energy there. You have the yin energy and the yang energy, and actually what you're doing is you're circulating it. Now, in order to practice Tantra yoga, you must know a little bit about Kundalini yoga or Kundalini meditation, because in Kundalini is spelled Kundalini, Kundalini, and it is sometimes referred to as snake energy or the serpent energy because it has a tendency to coil as this energy coils like a snake would coil, or like a spring, and it goes, it ascends up your spine as you're meditating or as you're moving the energy. And one of the yogic techniques that I practice is Kriya yoga, which is a Kundalini yoga, which moves energy. Kriya means movement of energy. And this energy is called, by the Chinese, it's called Qi. By the Japanese, it's Ki. And by the Indian people, or the East Indian people in India, it's called prana. Now, when you practice this meditation technique or this movement of energy up the spine, you can do this alone. Initially, it starts out where you do it alone. And as you do the breathing techniques and the different mantras, or use the different mantras, you learn how to move energy. And it's the same kind of energy that is in the meridians of the body that they treat with acupuncture. Now, you can find it in many cultures. The Hindus do it, and the Chinese do it. The Chinese call it circulation of the microcosmic orbit, which runs energy up the channel of the spine, called the Du channel, D-U, and down the front channel, which is called the Ren channel, R-E-N, and it circulates up the back and down the front. Now again, the Hindu tradition would be, or the tradition from India, one of the traditions would be Kriya, which means, like I said before, movement of energy. So it's done with the breath and breathing in a certain way, and just studying the different techniques. And it takes years to do this. Although, I have taught people how to do this in a very short time. But I will try to explain a little bit about what's going on here with it. So you have the yin and the yang energies, the male and the female energies. All of us have that within us. Male, female, doesn't matter. We both have those energies within us. And so as we do these meditations, we learn to combine these energies, the male and female energy, and to do what they call inner alchemy, where you combine the two, and it's actually like an inner union of these two energies, the male and the female energy, and you move it around and up and down your spine and down the channels. And it's used to open the chakras, or the energy centers, that if you could see them, which most people can't, but if you could see them, they look like flowers on the body, and there's 7 of them. The base chakra, which is down, between the legs, or the lower chakra, and then you have the second chakra on up, which is just beneath the navel, and then you have one in the solar plexus, one in the heart, one in the throat, and the third eye, and then you have the crown chakra. And all of them have different colors. Anyway, so this energy moves up and pierces these chakras and opens them up, and it's very healthy. And not only that, but it raises your consciousness to a whole other level. And I want to mention real quick that in the Chinese version, mostly this is done by Taoists, or Taoists, 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 or just Taoist. This is done in their discipline. So these are kind of like the preliminaries for Tantra Yoga. And the Tantrika, or the Tantra Yoga, originated in the Indus Valley, like I say, and is more of the Hindu or the East Indian practice. So now we get to 2 people, where 2 people know how to move this energy around, male, female, lovers, husband and wife, whatever. And they use these techniques while they are making love or having sex. They use these techniques to exchange that energy between one another. In other words, through breathing and through, the union, the sexual union, and through different, other techniques, they are able to move the energy in a circular fashion between them. And it goes up one person's spine and over the top of their head and down through the front channel. And then usually the tongues of the people will be touching, and it'll transfer like an electrical circuit to the other person and run up the front of their channel on the front and down the spine and circulate around. And it's just it's an unbelievably good feeling, because it goes way beyond what people would consider the normal sex act or sexual intercourse. And rather than there being like the normal orgasm that people might experience or do experience, in certain areas it would be more like a whole body, whole energy field, whole aura. It would be more of like a whole orgasm, or an orgasm of the whole body or the whole being, which is completely different feeling than what you would normally experience. It's like I said before, it's like whitewater rafting over Niagara Falls or something. So it is a very pleasant experience, and also it's a very consciousness raising experience where you are opening up these chakras, like I say, and sometimes you'll feel like a burst of energy as it reaches the crown chakra on the top of your head, and it'll feel like warm honey. The energy will feel like warm honey just like rolling down your face. I mean, there's all kinds of different feelings that you get from it, besides that oneness of getting to know each other on a spiritual energy level. Sometimes you might get the feeling of like all the molecules or the molecular structure of your body is moving. I mean, there's just so many different sensations that you get from this. Plus, like I said, the raising of the consciousness. And so this is something that is beneficial for people that are together to practice, so that it enhances their relationship, brings them closer together. And not only that, but it also brings you closer to the creative force or God, or the higher creative power, or the creative power of the universe. Because once you get that energy flow going through this Tantra, this this act of Tantra, then you connect with the higher spiritual power, and there's a union of the two people with the higher spiritual power, and that's how the consciousness is raised. And I realize I'm going kind of quickly here because I don't have much time, but I just wanted to give you kind of like a small picture of the bigger picture of what this is all about, so that people don't think, oh my, what's that? What's he talking about? It's a very spiritual thing. It doesn't have anything to do with, you know, what some people might think is, well, they might put the word, oh, sex, oh, that's forbidden, or that's taboo, or whatever. They're pretty hung up, with Judeo-Christian ethics regarding this, and other ethics from other religious beliefs. But if you really want to open yourself up to what's really happening, then you're going to want to experience this with your partner or whoever you're with. Also, once you learn this stuff, it's much easier to exchange energy with people, or to feel people's energy. And really, it has a lot to do with just energy in general, and it works with a lot of other things. So it's a really good thing to know. And you can even project this long distance, or if you really get good at it. So it's just all about energy, really. I always say that everything is all about energy, and it's how you use that energy for your benefit, or whether you just tend to ignore it. So I hope I brought a little enlightenment to you on this subject. And actually, I can't really get into it in the kind of detail that I would like to. And you have to be taught this stuff on a personal level, and you have to, lead up to it with the basics of preparing yourself by doing certain meditations. But I can't sit here and tell you positions and techniques and that kind of thing, because it would take too much time, for one thing, and you just can't do it on a video. So I hope I gave you a little insight, and without stepping on anybody's toes, and just give you a little bit more knowledge about what's out there. And sometimes, like I write in my book Emergence, if they only knew, because boy, it's something that is definitely an enjoyable facet of life. Okay, so I got to move on here, folks, because time's running out. So maybe I will talk a little bit more about this subject later, but right now, as you can see on the screen here, I want to show you my website, spiritofcrazyhorse.com. And that's www.spiritofcrazyhorse.com. And this is the page here, and as I'm scrolling down, you can see what it looks like. My books are on here: Emergence, Listen to the Wind, Speak from the Heart, Emergence. And also I have a donation button, which I'd appreciate if you got the chance, you could maybe kick me down some bucks to keep this situation going here with the radio shows. And then if you click here, that'll take you to my, the topics of my seminars. Right here is a little form you can fill out to get my newsletter. And so that's about it, folks. And so I want to say blessings to you all. And if you wish to know more about this subject, research it, or you can always ask me questions. NativeAmericanTaoist@gmail.com, and I'll try to do a little bit longer video on this at another time. But I figured I'd get this out there right now so that you can get a general idea and realize that this is not such a taboo subject, but something that you should actually embrace and take into your life, so that your life can be better, because this is a healing thing. This is a healing thing. So adios, and we'll talk to you later.